So fucking drunk, back again with yet another attempt at a beer review. One I'm going to review just now is from the most northerly brewery in the UK, for all you beer troopers out there, and this is one from the Valhalla Brewery in Shetland, and it's the Simmer Dim. 4% in the Richter scale for this one. Simmer Dim apparently means so northerly in Scotland, the Shetland Isles, that apparently during the summer months when the sun sets, it basically rises again minutes later. So there you go. That's what Simmer Dim means. Interesting story about Simmer Dim. I was just recently visiting my mother in Ireland, and I was on the ferry from Cairnryan to Larne. I was sitting outside because it was quite a nice day, and I met this couple and I was chatting away to them, and they were saying they were going to visit Dublin and stuff like that. They were driving about Ireland, doing a little bit tour about Ireland, going to go down to Dublin and stuff like that. And I said to the male of the company, I said to him, suppose tonight after your long travel and your long drive you'll be looking forward to a couple of pints of Guinness. And he says, oh well, maybe you'll have something, yeah, sort of thing. And then we started to talk about beer, and it was quite, it really is a small world, what I'm going to tell you. He started to say about his son, how he writes beer vlogs, writes beer vlogs and stuff like that, and he was chatting away and he says, oh, try this beer, try that beer, sort of thing. And we were chatting about beer, and I said, did he ever do any beer reviews or stuff? He said, oh yeah, I think he did. But he says, I don't think he does them anymore. And I says, what did he call himself? I couldn't believe it when he told me. He said Strath, and I went, Stravale. Stravale! I met your parents on the ferry to Ireland. I don't know if they've told you or not. They took a photograph of me to prove it was so fucking drunk they were talking to. Your dad took a photograph of me, so it really is a small world. That's the second time anything like that's ever happened to me ever since I started beer reviewing. So anyway, enough of this gabble. Let's go on to it. I was talking to your dad about the Valhalla Brewery, and he said that someone gave him a bottle of this and he was not impressed with it at all. So I hope he was wrong. So anyway, here we go. The Simmer Dim, 4% on the Richter scale. Let's get it in the glass, see what it's all about. I actually was expecting it to be a lot darker than what it is. There you go. I think it's just like a Shetland. It's kind of what did you say? It almost looks like it's like red meets gold with lemonade. That's what it looks like. It looks like a shandy, to be honest with you. It looks like a McEwen's Export shandy, to be honest with you. It looks as if it's lemonade in it. Let's go in here for the nose and see what we can come up with as Simmer Dim. Not picking an awful lot off the nose in this. A little bit of bread. But it's all about the taste. But it really is a small world. We've all got this love affair with beers and ales, and when you start chatting about it, it's amazing who you're talking to. So anyway, it's So Fucking Drunk, drinking a Simmer Dim from the Valhalla Brewery in Shetland. So it's a big cheers to Stravale out there and your mum and dad. I hope they enjoyed their holiday in Ireland. So anyway, So Fucking Drunk, 4% in the Richter scale. Sensation juice. Slanjiva. That's quite nice actually. It's nice. It's, what would you say about it? It's a little bit of caramel in it. Very mild caramel. But biscuit. For 4% beer, it's actually okay. Recently I tried, I was drinking like some Tartan Special, McEwen's Red and stuff like that, and they're okay, I suppose, but this is actually a wee grade higher than this. This is a wee bit of imagination's been into this. I tried one of their beers recently, it was called White Wife, and it was probably one of the best beers, budget beers I had drank in a long time. The Valhalla Brewery, simmered in. It's quite a nice wee sessionable beer, very similar in tasting, the only way I could describe it. Do you remember the Whitbreads, the big pale ale, the big red pale ale you used to get from Whitbreads? I don't mean red pale ale, it was kind of that sort of similar colour, maybe a little bit darker than that. No, actually it would actually be about the same. It tastes very similar to that, except this tastes a wee bit more intense than a pale, the old Whitbread pale ale, which to me was quite a nice beer. It was one that I drank in my teens and I really enjoyed it. That's what got me into dark beers anyway, was like Whitbreads and Newcastle Browns. We used to go drinking in a pub on a Sunday when we used to have the stupid licensing laws, and it was a social club and the draft beer was absolutely guff, so we used to drink like bottles, and it was in a Nookie Bruno, the big Whitbread, and that was it. That was before you got all you trendsetters out there were drinking Bud and all this kind of shit. Us connoisseurs of beer were drinking this kind of stuff. This is actually not bad. Your dad said he didn't like it. Stravale. It's actually not that bad. This one to session on. Go on the iFurniture quickly. I've rabbled a lot of keech on this video, so see what it says. From the Valhalla Brewery in Unst, the most northerly island in Britain, Shetland that is, the most northerly brewery as well. Its name comes from the Shetland dialect words for the haunting beautiful twilight time at midsummer where darkness never descends on these isles. There you go. Shetland has a strong Viking links, and the brewery is named after the Hall of the Celestial Regions. I bet Dave, the Urban Viking, didn't know that. And if he did, he's bullshitted it or he googled it. Only kidding, Dave. Shout out to Urban Viking there. Brewery named after Hall, Celestial Regions, home of the Norse god Odin, where slain Viking warriors were born to revive by a horn full of ale. There you go. Absolutely fantastic. It's a good wee session beer. Is it one I would drink again? Yes it is. Where did I get it? My big mate Minty put it behind the cream crackers and Lidl's. Aldi's actually, I keep forgetting, sorry mate. I know that the bosses get a bit pissed off if I get it wrong. It's quite a nice wee session beer, it's holding its own. So anyway, if you see it, pick it up. Pick up a few bottles, it was pretty cheap. I think it was about $1.29 a bottle. It's actually okay. People that like Tartan Special, McEwen's Export, all your sort of brown, mediocre, sort of like macro brews in Scotland are going to like this. Even North England, if you see it, pick it up. It's really nice. As I know a lot of you guys have very similar taste to the Scots, but the further south you go, I was going to say you get Taste England. Taste England, you would be in England, wouldn't you? I mean, like taste further south, like so when you get past all the real England. Real England? What is real England? Oh, I need to stop this. I love England anyway. I love the beers, I love the brews. What I was trying to say is the further south you go, you prefer the southern brews. If you're maybe halfway down England, you prefer the northern brews. That's what I try to say. My goodness. Well, so fucking drunk. I always get it wrong anyway. So anyway, this is So Fucking Drunk, drinking a Valhalla, simmered in, 4% in the Richter scale. I'm going to give this a solid 6.5 out of 10. So if you see it, give it a try, and if not, So Fucking Drunk. I'll see you in another beer review. Keep drinking decent Scottish craft beer. Ciao for now.